Hello everyone. Today we're heading back into the forest to take on a creative project, building a unique house using stone and clay. Let's follow along with me through this process. Now, let's get started with the project. The first step after selecting the location is to clear the area of weeds and any unwanted vegetation to prepare the space. Once the ground is clean, we begin digging the foundation, which is a crucial step to ensure the stability of the house. For the construction, we'll need a significant amount of stones. Luckily, the spot I chose is surrounded by an abundance of stones that are not only readily available, but also perfectly suited for the design and structure of the house I'm planning to build. This will save a lot of time and effort in gathering materials. The stones are carefully selected based on their edges to ensure they fit together seamlessly when stacked. Each stone is placed with precision, as every piece plays a crucial role in the structure's stability. Once the stones are arranged, I mix some clay with water to create a bonding mixture. This mixture acts as a natural adhesive to hold the stones firmly together. Using this method, I begin constructing a chimney for the fire stove, ensuring it's sturdy and functional while maintaining a rustic aesthetic that complements the overall design of the house. Next, I begin crafting the main framework of the house using sturdy wooden logs. These logs are sourced from nearby trees, carefully chosen for their strength and size to ensure the house has a solid foundation and structure. Once selected, I cut the logs into manageable sections using a saw, paying close attention to each cut to achieve the desired length and shape. Afterward, I meticulously trim away any unnecessary parts, such as rough edges, protruding knots or bark, to make the logs easier to work with and ensure they fit seamlessly together. To add extra strength and stability to the structure, I incorporate bamboo poles on top of the wooden beams. Bamboo is not only lightweight and flexible, but also incredibly durable, making it an excellent choice for supporting the roof. After assembling the bamboo layer, I add a protective layer of plastic sheeting over it. Over the plastic, I lay down a thick covering of leaves, carefully arranged to create a natural, rustic look while also adding an additional layer of insulation. Finally, I coat the roof with a layer of clay, which serves multiple purposes. The clay acts as a natural sealant, further protecting the roof from water penetration while also providing additional weight to keep the leaves and plastic firmly in place. Moreover, the clay enhances the roof's overall durability, making it resistant to wear and tear caused by wind, rain, and other environmental factors. To give the roof an authentic touch of the forest, I gather layers of green moss from the surrounding area. Moss not only adds a natural earthy aesthetic, but also blends the house seamlessly with its environment, making it look as though it's a part of the forest itself. After splitting the firewood and lighting the stove, I turn my attention back to reinforcing the stone walls. Carefully, I inspect the structure, identifying any gaps or open spaces between the stones. To fill these, I insert smaller stones, ensuring they fit snugly and enhance the stability of the wall. Once the gaps are filled, I use a clay mixture made by blending clay with water as an adhesive to bond the stones together. This process is repeated methodically across the entire wall to ensure no weak points remain. The heat from the stove not only creates a cozy atmosphere, but also helps the clay dry and harden more quickly, solidifying the structure. Heading into the forest, I searched for a strong, sturdy log that could be repurposed into a door for the house. Carefully, I carry the log back to the building site, ready to transform it into a functional and durable door. Using my tools, I begin shaping the log by trimming off any rough or uneven parts and flattening the surface to ensure it fits perfectly into the doorway. Once the wood is prepared, I measure and cut it to match the dimensions of the doorway. Attention to detail is crucial here to make sure the door is both functional and aesthetically pleasing. After shaping the log into a door, I create simple hinges using materials I have on hand, allowing the door to swing open and close smoothly. Finally, I secure it firmly into place, ensuring it fits snugly within the frame. Next, it's time to make a bed. I start by selecting sturdy wooden logs from the forest, stripping off the bark to create smooth surfaces. These logs are cut and shaped to form the legs and frame of the bed. Each piece is carefully measured and joined together, ensuring the frame is stable and durable enough to support weight. Using bamboo, I split each stalk in half lengthwise and smooth out any rough edges. The bamboo pieces are then tied together tightly with sturdy rope, creating a flexible yet strong mat. This mat is securely placed over the wooden frame, forming a comfortable and practical sleeping surface. Once the bed is complete, I carry it into the house, carefully maneuvering it through the doorway. After positioning the bed where I want it, I ensure it sits level and stable on the floor. To prepare for the evening, I gather some firewood to keep the fire going and start making my dinner. Using some flour, I knead it into dough, shaping it carefully into small, flat rounds. For cooking, I use 2 large, flat stones. First, I place 1 stone over the fire to heat it, then lay the dough on top of it. I use another stone as a lid to cover the bread, creating a simple yet effective oven to bake it evenly. I salt some meat over the fire, adding just the right amount of seasoning for flavor. Once the meat is cooked, I serve it alongside fresh greens, creating a hearty and satisfying meal. It's a perfect way to end a productive day, enjoying the fruits of both my labor and the natural surroundings. The next morning, I wake up early and begin carving a beautiful wooden door handle. I select a smooth, sturdy piece of wood and carefully shape it using a knife, adding subtle curves for comfort. This small yet meaningful touch adds both functionality and charm to the house. Next, I turn my attention to cleaning up the area in front of the house. The goal is to create a pleasant and functional space for relaxation. I decide to build a pathway that leads up to the entrance, as well as a small tea area where I can sit and enjoy the peaceful surroundings. To begin, I prepare the ground by laying a solid foundation using large stones and a mixture of clay. This ensures a stable base for the pathway and the tea area, making it both functional and durable. Then, I lay a solid foundation using large stones, arranging them carefully to form the edges of the pathway. The foundation needs to be strong enough to support the weight of any furniture or items I may place there. With the groundwork in place, the area starts to take shape, and I can begin adding the finishing touches. This process of creating a solid, stable foundation not only makes the pathway and tea area functional, but also ties everything together, ensuring they are both durable and aesthetically pleasing within the natural environment. After the foundation is set, I gather smaller stones and crush them into fragments using a hammer. The crushed stones are then spread evenly across the surface, filling in the gaps and creating a smooth, compact finish. This layer not only strengthens the path, but also gives it a more polished, refined look, contrasting nicely with the natural surroundings. Finally, I cover the pathway and tea area with a layer of earth, smoothing it out to create a natural earthy surface that blends seamlessly with the surrounding environment. To complete the tea area, I place a large, flat stone to serve as a seat. I sit down, pour myself a hot cup of tea, and take a moment to relax and appreciate the peaceful atmosphere. Next, I head to the street, where I find a sturdy log lying beside the water. It seems like the perfect piece for my next project. With careful attention, I use my tools to cut the log into a rectangular block, making sure to smooth out any rough edges along the way. After carving and shaping the log, I bring it back to the house, carefully carrying it to avoid any damage. The log now fits perfectly with the rest of the rustic furniture, ready for the final touches. Once I have the shape I want, I decide to turn into a functional piece of furniture by adding 4 legs. I measure and cut 4 smaller logs, attaching them securely to each corner of the rectangular block to form a stable base. After completing the legs, I test it by sitting on it to ensure its stability and comfort. But as I sit there, a new idea emerges. Instead of just using it as a stool, I decide to elevate it further by transforming the log into a sculptural table. I carefully carve 4 wedges from additional pieces of wood, shaping them into strong, supportive nubs to hold the rectangular block in place. I place the block on top of the wedges, securing it firmly and creating a visually striking and functional table. The contrast between the rough wood and the smooth carvings gives the table a natural, rustic charm, making it both a practical and artistic addition to the space. With the table now complete, I shift my attention to a new project, carving a small wooden cup with a handle. I use the remaining part of the log and begin to carve it carefully, chiseling away the excess wood to shape a rounded cup. As I work, I focus on creating a comfortable handle, ensuring that it's well-shaped and easy to hold. The carving is a slow and meticulous process, but as the cup starts to take form, I can see the satisfaction in the craftsmanship. Once the carving is finished, I hold the cup in my hands, feeling its balance and weight, and I'm proud of what I've created, a beautifully handmade, rustic cup perfect for enjoying a drink by the fire. After finishing the log carving, I decide to make the most of my time by building an outdoor cooking station. To complete my outdoor cooking station, I use stones and clay to build a sturdy, functional stove. Using this mixture, I fill the gaps between the stones, securing them in place to form a solid structure. I use bamboo to craft a simple rotating handle, designed to roast a chicken over the fire. The handle is sturdy, allowing me to turn the chicken slowly, ensuring it cooks evenly. The warmth of the fire, combined with the soothing aroma of the tea and the roasting chicken, creates a perfect outdoor cooking experience. With everything in place, I enjoy the fruits of my labor, appreciating the natural surroundings and the comfort of a homemade meal. This time, my task is to build a shelter right beneath a rocky overhang, taking advantage of the natural protection it offers. Wanting to save time, I use a hammer to break large stones into smaller, more manageable pieces that I need. However, I quickly realize that it still takes a lot of time and energy to get the right size and shape for the stones. The process is more exhausting than I expected, but I continue working until I have enough stones to proceed. Each strike must be precise, and the stones must be of the right size to ensure stability for the structure. After working for some time, I finally gather enough stones and head back to the cave. Once I arrive, I focus on preparing the ground. This takes some time, as I need to remove any rocks, roots, or debris that could interfere with the foundation. With the ground cleared and leveled, I begin laying the first layer of stones. Each stone is carefully placed, making sure it fits snugly with the others. I take my time to ensure that the base is strong and level, as this will provide the foundation for the rest of the structure. As I continue placing the stones, I begin to build the walls of the shelter, stacking the stones carefully to create a sturdy frame. For the gaps between the stones, I use earth, filling in any cracks to keep the stones secure. This makes the walls more solid and helps hold everything in place. The process is slow but rewarding, and with each layer of stone, the shelter starts to take shape. The overhang provides a natural roof, and the stone walls begin to form a protective barrier against the elements. As I work, I can feel the shelter becoming more and more like a home. The task is demanding, but the result will be worth the effort. With the stones securely in place and the earth packed tightly between them, the foundation is ready. I can now focus on the next steps in completing the shelter, knowing that the solid stone structure I've started will provide a strong and lasting refuge. For every home, a kitchen is essential, so he decides to create a fully functional and beautiful stove using clay and stone. He begins by carefully selecting the stones, arranging them in a way that will form the sturdy base of the stove. Once the base is set, he mixes clay with water to create a smooth, heat-resistant mixture, which he uses to secure the stones in place. This ensures the stove will be durable and capable of withstanding the heat of a fire. As he works, he is meticulous about each stone's placement, shaping the stove's walls and creating a solid structure. After placing the final stone, he takes a step back to admire his work. By this time, night has fallen, and the shelter is now ready for a fire to be lit. The stove, though simple, is a crucial part of the home, ready to provide warmth and the ability to cook meals in the coming days. After finishing the stove, he cooks a simple dinner, enjoying the warmth of the fire. Once the meal is ready, he sits down to eat and relaxes, reflecting on the day's work as the fire crackles softly. He decides to make a simple wooden bed for himself, using sturdy logs and carefully selecting the best pieces for the frame. With some effort, he shapes the logs to create a comfortable, elevated platform to sleep on. After finishing the bed, he feels it's time to address the next essential task, building the door for the shelter. To start, he prepares the area where the door will go by laying 2 thin stone slabs beneath the frame, creating a solid, flat base to support the door. He measures the space carefully to ensure the door will fit perfectly. Using some more of the available wood, he begins cutting and shaping the planks, making sure each piece is the right size for the frame. Slowly, he assembles the door, securing the pieces together with wooden nails. Once the door is complete, he installs it into the frame, adjusting it to ensure it opens and closes smoothly. The warmth of the fire and the quiet surroundings provide a perfect opportunity to relax before continuing with the next tasks.